Trump has just canceled a press conference with Netanyahu. Actually, what they're doing, there was going to be a joint press conference in the East Room, which would be, the entire press corps there. They have decided to move it to the Oval Office and only invite right-wing media, a, quote, select group of reporters. So between Netanyahu taking heat for his troops slaughtering 15 Palestinian relief workers, aid workers, intentionally. I mean, sirens were, lights were on. It was obvious that these were relief workers. And the IDF, the Israeli military, murdered them and then dug a mass grave and buried them and their vehicles, trying to cover up the crime. So, Netanyahu, who is under indictment by the World Court, I mean, he would be arrested in many countries. Netanyahu is meeting with Trump, ostensibly to talk about tariffs on Israel. We'll see. But this is probably something he doesn't want to talk about. And Donald Trump probably doesn't want to talk about the fact that the stock market is down, although it's only down 300 points right now. We might have kind of hit the bottom. We might be starting to stabilize where we're at right now. But, I'm telling you, if tomorrow China does not drop their 34% tariff on U.S. goods and Trump imposes his additional 50% tariff on Chinese goods, I mean, he's trying to play chicken with President Xi, and President Xi does not need us and does not play chicken. And he's gonna be, financially and politically punching Trump in the face here. And if that all happens tomorrow, you're going to see another 2,000 point drop, 3,000 point drop in the Dow. To make it even worse, this slaughter of the Gaza medics, the IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces, and their official spokespeople had gone out to the media and said, "Oh, well, they didn't have any lights on, they didn't have any flashing emergency lights. They were in unmarked vehicles. It was shady stuff. It was suspicious. It was at night. They didn't have their headlights on." Turns out that was all lies. I mean, this was an elaborate set of lies that had been told to us and the world and to their own people, to the Israeli people, by the Netanyahu government. And now, of course, the video has come out of one of these 15 men who was murdered, actually was filming what was going on at the time. And when they dug up the bodies, they found his phone, and there was the video. So, and it's traveling around the world at the speed of light. So we'll see where that goes. Meanwhile, U.S. student journalists are starting to freak out. This is a very concerning trend. There's a piece about this in The Guardian. It's titled, "U.S. Student Journalists Go Dark, Fearing Trump Crusade Against Pro-Palestinian Speech." Rumeysa Ozturk, the young graduate student at Tufts University in Boston who was kidnapped off the streets and is now in a hellhole private prison down in Louisiana. She was a graduate student with a student visa. She's from Turkey. And why was she arrested? Because a year ago, she put her name along with two other students who were presumably citizens because they didn't get snatched. She put her name on an op-ed calling for Tufts University to stop investing in Israel, to withdraw their investments from any company that does business with Israel. And this sometimes referred to as BDS, And, like I said, she's in jail. She's one of nearly a dozen students now who we know of who have been snatched and imprisoned for speaking out against Netanyahu, basically. And I just want to affirm again, I am a fan of Israel. I am not a fan of Netanyahu. This man is destroying a country, an extraordinary country, just like Trump is destroying America. It's just so sad to watch. But at Columbia University, Adam Kinder, the editor of the Columbia Political Review, said, I'm reading from The Guardian here, said his publication has been asked to take down nearly a dozen articles and half the publication process of over a dozen more in response to mounting pressure in recent weeks. At Stanford University, the Stanford Daily has also seen a surge in takedown requests in recent weeks. According to its editor, Greta Reich, she said 1 came in, then 2, then 5, then 10. It just really started piling up very quickly. And this is New York University. I mean, it's happening in colleges all over the country, where students are, and not just, foreign exchange students or people here on student visas. I mean, obviously, they're the ones who are afraid of being deported or being put in ICE detention facilities. But this goes beyond that. You've got young people who are simply concerned that this will cause them to be blackballed from job opportunities. So just speaking out against Israel or against what Netanyahu is doing in Gaza is apparently enough to destroy a young person's future. It's really quite extraordinary. It's breathtaking when you think of it, that we have come to this in the United States, the country that brought the world the First Amendment, that says, the government shall make, Congress shall pass no laws impairing the right of free speech. It's just remarkable.